Hello and happy New Year's Eve, YouTube. JDub has returned once again to give you exactly what you want. And I know this is what you want, which of course will be more of me giving all you Walking Dead fanatics out there my Season 10 second half death predictions. Before I go over the list, there could be major spoilers, especially for episode number 9, the first episode when they come back. There's a potential character death that's been rumored by a lot of YouTubers and a lot of sites. Don't know for sure if it's going to happen, but usually when that stuff gets around, 9 out of 10 times it happens. Of course, Tara's been rumored to die a lot, and she finally died last season. So take it for what it is. If you don't want to be spoiled by anything, I highly suggest that you stop watching this video. And if you're still watching it after the video is over, if you go ahead and like the video, share it, favorite it, subscribe to the channel, make sure you get the notifications and alerts, and leave a comment, really anything related Walking Dead Season 10. If you want to go over your death predictions, that'd be great. Let's compare. So, you've been warned, potential spoilers ahead, and you know what? Let's just start the video off with the potential death for Season 10, Episode 9. It's heavily rumored, spoiler alert, that Connie will die in the mid-season premiere when they come back. Again, it's not confirmed by any means, but usually when this stuff happens, it's usually good information. So, just so you know, here we go with the list. I'm going to go over each character that I can remember and give you guys a yes or no if they're going to die. Cal. Well, if you don't remember who Cal is, that's Discount Glenn. He's usually at the hilltop watching guard. I don't think we've even seen Cal in Season 10 yet. He was featured a lot in Season 9. Well, not featured, but shown a lot in Season 9. So for that, I don't think Cal's going to die simply because we haven't seen him. Maybe he died and I just didn't see it in Season 9. Jules. Jules is the chick that Luke was flirting with at the Oceanside at the beginning of the season. We haven't really been given a lot of Jules, so I don't think Jules is going to die, although there's rumors that she's a potential, spoiler alert, another potential spy for the Whisperers. I don't think that's going to happen, though. But if it does, well, you heard it here. But I don't think Jules is going to die simply because I don't think we've had enough time with her. Marco. He's usually at the hilltop. He doesn't get a lot of moments in the show, but he's usually a background character. I don't think Marco's going to die. I think he could become a more important character down the road. Cindy. Of course, the first character we met from the Oceanside. And I think Cindy's days are numbered because I want them to get rid of the Oceanside altogether. So I think Cindy's a definite yes. As well as the leader of the Oceanside who signed the charter, Rachel. I think Rachel's a goner as well. Virgil. Well, Virgil, I think his story is going to go off into the Walking Dead movies, I think, whenever they finally come out. I think his story is going to be a big story, so that means I don't think we see him after probably the Michonne's last episode, which, spoiler alert, is supposed to be episode 12 of Season 10. So I don't think we'll see Virgil past then, but who knows? Maybe he'll get stranded or something like that, and he'll be a member of the group. So Virgil, no. Laura. Laura's the character from Season 8 that knew that Dwight was the traitor, and then Negan picked her up on the side of the road. And now she's in Alexandria, and she doesn't get a lot of time in the show, but they show her every once in a while. I don't think they're going to kill her off because I think she could become a more important character and then get killed off. So I'm going to say no for Laura. Diane. Diane was at the hilltop, or at the Kingdom at one point, and now she's at the hilltop. She's kind of a major background character, I would call her. So I think, I've said this a lot, I think Diane is going to die at some point in the second half of Season 10. Because they got to kill a bunch of characters because there's going to be a war. So Diane would definitely be one of them. Kelly. That's Connie's younger sister. I don't really like Kelly's character. I thought she was going to die early on in Season 10, especially the episode where she's like, her hearing's screwed up and she's like laying in the woods. I thought Kelly was a goner. Based on the spoiler that Connie might die, I don't think Kelly will die in Season 10. Maybe Season 11. But if that comes true, that Connie does die, I think Kelly's safe for now. So Kelly, no. Luke. I really like Luke's character. They're doing a good job of making me like him. But that one episode that he was in where he left the hilltop hugging everybody and then I thought he was a goner then, like the next episode he was in. Then he was in the episode with Michonne and Virgil and Judith, and he didn't die. So I still think Luke's going to die simply because they need to have a lot of characters die, but not a lot of major characters. So I think Luke is going to be one of them, unfortunately. But I hope it's not true. He's kind of an if possibly character right now, in my opinion. Next up is Magna. Now, if you asked me this question at the beginning of the season or even before the season started, I would sort of say there's not a chance that Magna dies, but they really don't focus a lot on Magna. She's more of a minor character, and they're more focused on Himiko and, well, Connie for now. I don't think Magna's going to die, but there's been some talk that she does die. Again, not confirmed, and there's not like a specific episode where Magna's going to die in that I've been told, but just based on what her character does and doesn't do, I could say there's a chance, but I'm going to say no, because I actually like Magna as a character. Next up, Yumiko. They have more plans for Yumiko. I don't think Yumiko is going to die. Of course, I could be wrong. Gage. Gage was actually a character that was in Homeland, and as the main character, well, one of the main characters' son, and then he grew up and now he's in Walking Dead. He's kind of a prick. Doesn't really have anything to do right now. There's a potential relationship with Lydia there. I don't know. I just don't see how they can make Gage an important character that we would care about. So I think Gage will die in season 10. However, this one I could be wrong about because they just might keep him around and kill him off in a later season when he becomes more important. Next up, Scott. We all know how I feel about Scott, and then in this season, especially episode 8, Scott got more dialogue than he's gotten in 2 years. He was featured heavily in episode 3 of season 6, the thank you episode with the Glenn dumpster fake-out death where he hurt his leg. And then since then, he's been a very major background character. Doesn't say a lot of lines. And then also in this season, in episode 8, he had some lines and whatnot. So I think Scott definitely is a goner for season 10, second half. Next on the list, we have Earl. Earl lost his wife, Tammy, last year in the column before. I think Earl is a good character, and I would be happy if they kept him around, simply because they need more old people around in The Walking Dead that we care about. Earl's a nice character. He was kind of a rebel, too, because he was in jail at the end of season, or the beginning of season 9, I believe. So I'm going to say yes for Earl, simply because they need to kill some characters off, but not ones that will really be distraught about. So I think Earl will die, unfortunately. But I hope he doesn't. I could be wrong about that one. Next on the list is Alden. I don't know where they're going to go with Alden's character. Who knows? I think it's very possible that Alden does end up with Maggie when she comes back. Maybe not right away, of course, but in season 11 or 12. So with that said, I don't think Alden's going to die. But then again, he could die because a lot of people don't care about him. He really annoyed me at the second half of, or the end of season 9 when he's all pouty about Enid dying, and like he was just pissing me off. But I think Alden's a no. Next on the list is Gabriel. There's rumors that Gabriel could die, but they're nothing concrete at all. And I just don't see this being the time for Gabriel to die, especially if, like Connie and another major character above Connie would die. So I think Gabriel's a no. Eugene, there's no way they're killing Eugene off. Not this season. Eugene's not dying. Rosita, I mean, they could kill Rosita off, but now she has a daughter. Who would take care of that daughter if she died? Eugene? Well, he doesn't really have a love interest at the moment. I don't think Rosita's gonna die. Of course, she's one of those characters that every season you think she may die. But I don't think it's going to be this season. They've killed too many big characters off, or too many minor characters or kind of mid-level characters for Rosita to die. But I could be wrong. Next up is Nabila. That's Jerry's wife. I don't see a point in killing her right now. I think if they killed her, Jerry would die in that season, and I don't see Jerry dying this season. Spoiler alert. So I'm going to say no to Nabila, and of course, Jerry being next. I don't think Jerry's going to die, simply because the fan base would be irate that Jerry would die. So I think he's a no for now, but potentially a death in season 11 or 12. Next up is Ezekiel. Now, this one's a tough one. We know that Ezekiel is sick. and that there's nobody around to help him right now to, stop the sickness. However, if they somehow get in touch with the Commonwealth by the end of the season, that could potentially save Ezekiel. Now, he would be a definite yes, especially early on in the season and before the season started. I'm going to say no. Now, obviously, Ezekiel could die, and I think if he does die, his last words will be, because I smile. And yet I smile. But right now, I think it's too obvious that Ezekiel's going to die. And I think somehow, some way, they're going to get a cure for him next season or whatever. So Ezekiel's a no. However, I'm not sure about that one. Next, we have Gamma. Gamma, I don't see Gamma being important after this season. I think Gamma will join our group and then die in the Whisper War. So I think Gamma's a yes. Could be wrong, but I think Gamma's a yes. Beta. I just don't see a scenario where Beta would die this season. I think Beta comes back next season and maybe dies next season, or potentially he's the one that joins our group of survivors, because Beta, if you look at it, other than having a fight with Daryl and picking on Negan, Beta hasn't done anything. Like, he wasn't involved with the Pike scene, cutting off everybody's head. He wasn't there. He hasn't hurt any members of our group. And he's just a cool character. So I'm going to go no for Beta, and I hope he's a long-term character somehow, some way on the show. Next is Alpha. And yes, Alpha will die this season. Probably, spoiler alert, by Negan or hopefully Carol. But I think Alpha will die relatively soon before the season is over with. Well, obviously, I think she'll die like in episode 14, 13, or 12, or maybe 15. Just my opinion. Gracie, I don't see why they would kill Gracie unless it would break Aaron. So Gracie's a no. Aaron, he's too important. He's a no. Although, if he gets another role on another show, then that could be a different story. Lydia, I think there's a chance that Lydia could be killed off because I just don't see where you go with her character. But with that said, I'm going to say no just because it would hurt a lot of other characters. Negan, no. If they kill Negan, which I guess there's a chance, no. I will be irate. I could see a scenario where Negan's out with Lucille, or the Lucille 2, or the original Lucille somehow, some way. He's out, and then all of a sudden Maggie shows back up. Maggie sees Negan out and about and kills him because she doesn't know everything that's happened since she left. I could see that being a scenario where Negan would die. But with that said, no. This is The Walking Dead, and in my opinion, Negan should be the main character of the show. No, no, no. RJ, no. Judith, no. I think The Walking Dead is essentially Judith's show right now. Carol, no. Daryl, I would like Daryl to die, but I'm starting to like Daryl a lot more now. So, no. There's no way they're killing Daryl. Not this part. And then last but not least, we have Michonne. It's heavily rumored that Michonne is leaving the show. In fact, that's been confirmed that she's leaving the show, but we don't know if Michonne is going to die or just be written off. I don't like the fact that characters are just kind of leaving without their story being finished on The Walking Dead, but I don't think Michonne would be killed. I think Michonne's story is going to lead to the Commonwealth, and then the Commonwealth is going to get mad that I don't know what the scenario will be, but I don't think Michonne's going to die. So there you have it. My apologies if I missed any characters. We've gone 14 minutes now, but do your due diligence, like the video, and tell me what characters you think will die in The Walking Dead Season 10 second half. And of course, JDev will be back again soon with another. Peace and happy almost New Year.